On this episode of Genshin Impact.
Is all the more reason to not tell her, no?
No. Let's go drinking, Paimon. I'm coming. That's all? You're a massive simp, aren't you, Dane? You bad boy. Huh? Hi, my name is Chris, and this is part 4 of my series on Genshin Impact, where I dive deep into the lore and story of the game from beginning to end. Last time we resolved the crisis in Liyue between the Qixing, the Fatui, and the Adepti. And this time we're finally taking some steps towards finding our long-lost sister by meeting a mysterious new character known as Dainsleif. But before we get to that, there's just a few things I want to point out. The last episode took a very long time to make, for a whole bunch of reasons. And so we're trying something different this time around. I'll be splitting up Dainsleif's quests into 2 parts. One for the prelude, which is this video, and one for the actual Act 4, which will be the next video. I really do love making long videos, but I can't have you guys hanging around for so long when there's so much game to cover still. Thank you once again for the support, by the way, it means a ton. Anyway, since the last video took so long to make, but I was still playing Genshin Impact every single day, I am now adventure rank 51. Yeah. Diluc is still my main damage dealer at this point, but we did manage to snag a mysterious lady with a fancy walk by the name of Columbina. Link to that video if you want to see how that happened. Columbina is a lunar character, and to trigger her reactions, we need either an Electro or a Dendro character. And since I already leveled up Fischl a bit, that's who I'll be using here. And taking the last slot is still Bennett, believe it or not. Alright, with that out of the way, let's continue our adventure. Back in Mondstadt, Catherine from the Adventurers Guild has something to tell us. What's that? Why is anime boy suddenly female, you ask? Well, I accidentally triggered the quest when I went to turn in my dailies one day, and I couldn't record seeing as I was on Steam Deck and all, so... Thanks so much to WoWQuest for providing the gameplay for the first minute. Everyone goes up to WoWQuest. Wow, I can't believe how many quests there are. Anyway, we tell Catherine that things are going well, but that we'd like some more allies. So she gives us some spiel or another about it being hard to find loyal companions you can trust on your team.
You have some information that may be of help to you. Let me consult our records. Ah, there it is. There's been a certain blonde stranger who arrived in Mondstadt lately, dressed in most unusual clothes.
Who that?
Blonde. Dress is all funny. It feels like Paimon's heard this one before.
Is it our sister? I mean, it's kind of confusing with this POV, but... Paimon doesn't seem to think the mysterious stranger's appearance is a coincidence either, but...
No, they couldn't look more different.
Oh. Apparently the stranger is a tall dude with an eye patch, and so we naturally assume he's a relative of Kaya's.
Seriously? How does this have anything to do with Kaya?
Cause the eye patch, bro. Yeah, or maybe not. Catherine tells us that the stranger said no to joining the Adventurers Guild. Apparently it's pretty common for people to dodge the guild, not wanting to be limited by it. So Catherine asks us to look into hiring the stranger ourselves to come along on our journey, as he would surely be a strong ally, and since we should easily be able to convince him.
You are the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius, after all. Your deeds are the stuff of song for all the bards in the city, even now.
She tells us to go ask the sussy-voiced guard at the gate for info on the stranger's location. Dainsleif. And so we swap genders once again and head on out to find him. So, I'm looking for a stranger with an eye patch.
A stranger with an eye patch. Let me think.
Sir Lawrence tells us that he did in fact see our stranger, and that he once again neglected his duties by failing to follow the suspicious stranger and inform Jean afterwards.
But on the other hand, knowing that Master Jean may overreact to the situation is all the more reason to not tell her, no?
No.
Anyways.
Stay classy, Sir Lawrence. Anyway, he tells us that the blacksmith, Wagner, might know something, as the stranger stayed at his smithy for quite a bit of time. So we leave the shameful knight behind and head on over there.
What? You need something?
Wagner tells us that the stranger stayed for a while, asking for materials and browsing weapons before leaving.
I've heard that he can be found drinking at the Angel's Share.
Diluc's Tavern?
Well, Master Diluc probably has his eye on that stranger too then. Anyway, let's go to the Angel's Share and have a look.
Let's go drinking, Paimon. Maybe we can finally bond, you know? The fucking missing person poster.
What will it be? Grape juice or apple cider?
Well, we asked Charles here if he's seen the stranger around, and sure enough, the dude's been here alright.
Just a drink, though. Doesn't order anything else.
I mean, it's a bar, isn't it? I guess it's a tavern, but I don't know. We learned that Diluc has indeed been keeping an eye on the guy, and that he actually seems quite impressed by him. The stranger pre-ordered a bottle of wine for tonight, so we decide to hang out in the bar till nighttime so we can have a chat.
Ah, welcome, sir. The wine that you previously ordered is here.
I'm coming! Wait, where'd he go? There he is. Look at him. What's that mask he's wearing? We try to introduce ourselves, but the dude doesn't seem too interested. Until... So, I'm a traveler.
A traveler, you say? Why are you traveling?
Wait, is that Yosuke?
Seriously?
We tell him that we're looking for our sister, and that seems to catch his attention well enough.
Sit down over there, then.
Thank you.
So, guess we've broken the ice. What a weird guy.
This is like punished Yosuke.
That little one beside you.
My best chum or emergency food? Which one should we choose?
That's not true.
The stranger introduces himself as Dainsleif, and he asks us what our deal is with him. So we try our luck and ask him to come with us on our adventure.
Sure.
That was easy. That was suspiciously quick, but never mind that for a minute. The game introduces something very bad here, and we have to talk about it.
Paimon's got a bad feeling about this.
Why can't we hear Paimon's internal monologue now? Please. Don't make this a thing, please. Anyway, back to Dainsleif. He tells us that he has a few conditions for us if we want him to come along. First, he'll need about 500 mora, which is surprisingly cheap. Dude, that's nothing. I'm fucking world level 7 at this point, bro. I'm stacked with mora. But he also asks us to answer his questions free. And these questions aren't the right or wrong kind. They're a bit harder than that, forcing us to really think hard about our own beliefs and values. Dainsleif says he's very interested in learning what we'll choose for some reason.
Question 1. The crisis Mondstadt faced was resolved by an alliance between yourself and that animo Archon who calls himself Venti. Who, in your view, was the key to ending that crisis?
How did you know that Venti is...
I know everything that I should.
Damn.
Well, answer the question.
It was Venti, it was me. The unity of Mondstadt's people gave us the victory. No, f that. It was me, bro. I turned the dragon from red to blue. It's me. I did it. The next word from Dainsleif skips ahead to the end of the Liyue arc, once again asking us a big question.
Who do you think will defend Liyue Harbor in the future, now that they've lost their deity?
Ooh, the Adepti, the Liyue Cheesing, everyone in Liyue Harbor. Oh, that's a good question. I feel like the Adepti retreated. I mean, they will. If everything goes wrong, they will. The Liyue Cheesing with Ningguang in the lead, I mean, they might. They probably will. But I feel like everyone will stand together. That was the whole point, right? It's a contract between Liyue and its people.
So that's your answer? I see.
And finally, Dainsleif challenges us a bit more philosophically.
This world has people who gained visions and those who did not. Which of the two do you think hold more importance in the eyes of the gods?
Oh, that is... I want to say those with visions because they bestowed them with visions, right? If that's what you believe, at least. We just know that people with visions get them if they're in distress. But supposedly the gods are the one that bestows the power upon them, right? But we don't really know that for sure. Perhaps none of them do. The gods don't give a shit. I think we'll go with that one.
So, this is your answer then. I understand.
What's up with his eyes, by the way?
As I thought, you really are similar to her.
As to who Dainsleif means here, well, of course he just changes the subject right away. I mean, this is Genshin after all. What did you expect at this point? Anyway, Dainsleif agrees to take on a commission from us, as long as it's about the Abyss Order.
Like you, I am currently on a journey. You intend to find your sibling, while I wish to oppose the Abyss.
Seems Dainsleif really doesn't like the Abyss Order for some reason. He tells us that he's here to hunt a so-called Abyss Herald, which is apparently a leader type, one step above the Abyss Mages who we've been fighting for ages now. We think back on our adventures in Liyue and find it odd that the Abyss Order pretty much stayed out of our way for that one.
Oh, that's right! We've just been fighting against the Fatui and Liyue, who are human too! We haven't encountered the non-human Abyss Order at all!
There's some reason behind that, I'm afraid.
Dainsleif tells us that the Abyss Mages may have been under orders not to engage us, which is quite an odd guess to make off the cuff. But anyway, we tell him that we're not really worried about him.
That manner, it's just like hers.
He knows
According to the leads I have on hand,
our new ally lets it slip that the Abyss Herald has supposedly been snooping around in the Temple of the Falcon, one of the temples we cleared back during the Storm Terror threat. So we head on in there to take it back from enemy hands. Hello? Wait, did I not have to go in? Let's leave. Let's leave. Nope, he's there. God damn it.
the Falcon of the West. Though it can soar in the wind, it ultimately does naught but hover under the light of the gods.
What are you talking about? Dainsleif smells the Abyss Order as we proceed in the temple, and so we continue to slaughter just about anything in our path. Now, take a wild guess what's waiting for us at the end of the path. Yep, it's an Abyss Mage. Well, 2 of them actually this time. Yay. So we beat him up, and it turns out we weren't the only ones disappointed here.
Just a few Abyss Mages? Seems like that herald might have already left. The Abyss. It is chaos, and it is also destruction. It is a morass of inconceivable madness that encroaches upon this world's very foundations.
Yeah, my dude really hates the Abyss with a passion. It almost reaches D-Luke levels of hatred, rivaling the Redhead's fury towards the Knights of Favonius. Dainsleif tells us that the Abyss Order wants to overthrow a world ruled by Archons. He seems to know quite a lot, actually.
Well, we do have some history.
Is he like an ex-Abyss Order member? If he's been like a part of the Abyss Order, that might be why he knows our sister. Anyway, he tells us that we need to head to Wolvendom next if we want to pursue the Abyss Herald's trail. And I mean, of course we do. We need to stick as close to this guy as humanly possible. I smell some giant fat lordoms hiding behind that mask and cape of his. So we head on out there.
Well, we're in Wolfendom now. Think Dane's waiting for us up ahead?
We find Dane chilling on an overlook surrounding the huge boss arena. Once again, he spouts some incoherent nonsense, giving us the distinct feeling that he knows the arena's owner, Boreas, somehow. However, he tells us that this isn't really the case.
I only know these things because a previous traveling companion of mine once wanted to hear its story.
Would that traveling companion happen to look like me?
But where do we begin?
We start searching for the Abyss Herald around the area. Dane has found some weird looking bonfires with some kind of abyss magic hanging over them. Abyssal spells, he calls them. Again, he seems to know quite a lot about the Abyss Order. So we head around the area to look for more bonfires. Gotta say it's nice to play Genshin like this again. The last time I recorded new story content was like 2 months ago, I think, almost at this point. Crazy. We start beating up goons around the area and check out the bonfires to find more clues on the Abyss Herald.
Looks like this bonfire's also got something to do with the Abyss.
That's all? That's all we figured out? We do this one more time to get the same kind of fruitless results and decide to head back to Dainsleif. So what do we learn? The Abyss Order has been here. Okay, nice. Dainsleif didn't really find anything either, only some tracks made by lowly Abyss mages.
It seems that even an Abyss Herald would not wish to make trouble with the Wolf King of the North.
We get the distinct impression that Dainsleif doesn't really like the Wolf God too well either. Anyway, he suggests heading to visit Stormterror's lair next to look for the Herald. So we head there, stop for a few seconds to take in Genshin's amazing soundtrack, and head to talk to Dane. He then finally lets his mask slip just a little bit to give us our first real lore nugget of this quest.
If my memory serves, this ruin has had largely nothing to do with that dragon for a long time.
Please, give me the backstory.
The first time I laid eyes upon the ruins of Old Mondstadt, the Dragon of the East had yet to fall, much less come to nest in this place.
Huh? But Paimon remembers that Dvalin first got in trouble hundreds of years ago.
Oh my god, it's another anime character.
Don't think too much about it. Do you remember the light act?
Well, I guess that line of questioning is over with. Moving on. Wait, but that was 300 years ago. Don't think about it. Okay. Dainsleif tells us to check out the light actuators, the things that we took care of way back in the prologue before fighting Stormterror. So we go and beat up some more Abyss Order goons, but there's still no sign of the Abyss Herald, which is a bit of a shame.
I wouldn't call not having to gaze upon such a creature a shame exactly. Still, I do believe that you will come across one eventually.
Can't wait. Dainsleif starts talking about his mysterious traveling companion again, which makes us a bit suspicious.
You know, Dane, you keep talking about that person this and that person that. Where are they now, anyway?
Good, Paimon, good. She was corrupted by the Abyss Order, wasn't she? And it's our sister. He tells us that his traveling companion no longer travels because it's too exhausting for her, apparently. Dane actually wants to retire too, but he still has some things he wants to do and finish before that happens.
Hey, once you find your sibling, we should find a place to stay too, shouldn't we?
We can stay in the teapot.
Mondstadt's Fisherman's Toast is pretty tasty, but Liyue's one-man restaurant is great too. Either way, we should settle down in a place where there's good food.
I get it, you like food, Paimon. God damn it. We're still talking to Dainsleif when something weird happens to Anime Boy. He gets this feeling that something or someone is watching from above. She's watching. So we use a nearby wind current to head on up there to check it out.
Can you still sense that familiar feeling that you spoke of earlier?
There's nothing up on the cliff though. Weird. But at least we get to learn more about Dainsleif. He reveals that he's actually been here before, back when he was journeying with his traveling companion.
What's your favorite place?
Yeah.
Me? I no longer remember. I merely followed my traveling companion around on that journey. That's all there was to it.
Is your entire personality your traveling companion? You're a massive simp, aren't you, Dane? You bad boy.
Huh?
Anyway, we suddenly notice the enormous footprints of a ruin guard on the ground, like right in front of us. A dandelion right next to them catches our eye, and so we go and check it out. Shit. The god lady. By touching it, Anime Boy gets a nice little recap of the events that led him and his sister to Tevat in the first place.
What's gotten into you? You were just spacing out.
It seems the dandelion had this kind of scent on it, as Dainsleif calls it, that only we can recognize and resonate with. At this point, we're desperate for some answers.
You're saying some real confusing stuff. Paimon doesn't get it at all.
Me neither, Paimon. Goddamn. Dainsleif tells us to keep calm as we're only at the beginning of our journey, which is nice and all, but god damn it, I want some answers. I will find her. I will find him.
Yes. And this is something you must keep in mind.
Anyway, Dainsleif tells us that he's done with us for now. No, I still have so many questions. But he also tells us that he'll meet us again soon.
After all, I did take 500 Mora and those 3 answers you gave me.
Who the hell are you, man? That was it? That was it? No. Is that really it? Oh, we will be reunited. Okay, there's more. I was about to be very pissed. Alright.
Tonight our city bleeds red, blue, and green.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I just want to give a quick shout out to my channel members. They are QYA4, Grim23, Roof the RL Panda, LSZ05, and Hope K96. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. I really appreciate it. And keep an eye out for the next part. It's coming soon-ish, alright? It's coming. See you.